guys, how you doing? Welcome to Brains Inc. I'm Stephanie, your host. This is the only YouTube channel where we talk about anything and all things zombie, all across the board from all kinds of media. So in today's episode, I'm going to be explaining to you guys why us zombie fans don't say the Z word, the forbidden word throughout all zombie films. And the answer is not that crazy, it's cringe. Some people may agree with me, some people may disagree with me. Regardless of what side of the spectrum you're on, I personally think it's really cringe to say the Z word in a zombie movie. And some of our other friends from across the pond would also agree with us on this one.
Don't say that.
What?
That.
What?
That. The Z word. Don't say it.
Why not?
Because it's ridiculous.
All right. Are there any out there, though?
Can't see any. Maybe it's not as bad as all that. Oh, no, there they are.
So to me, saying the Z word, the word zombie in a zombie movie, it's kind of like breaking the magic of the whole movie. It's kind of like if your school mascot decided to go around in his or her costume without their headpiece. Like, you can see it's just a normal person and it's not like whatever your mascot is, like Go Bears or Go Hawks or whatever. And it just it for the movie itself, it kind of like it brings some kind of self-awareness to the characters in the movie, where it's like they know what a zombie is, it seems like. And usually when people say the Z word in a movie, it's kind of played for laughs. It's more like comedic effect, like I said, like everyone knows what a zombie is and they're kind of poking fun of at zombies in that way, and it just doesn't really jive with me. Though I will say there are some zombie movies that do use the Z word, and it doesn't really make me cringe for some reason. And I think because with those movies, it's different because people are using the word zombie as a way to describe like what's happening, but they still don't know it. It still doesn't break the fourth wall, so to speak. Whereas in general, when people use the Z word in most zombie films, it does that fourth wall breaking, and it's mostly done for a comedic effect. And so for me, I personally prefer my zombie movies to be more on the serious end of things. So if the word zombie is being used in a proper context, let's say, again, the survivors don't know what's going on, they need a term, or they're kind of just throwing names out there. Yeah, it's just something that we zombie fans don't really do. And I noticed that people use the Z word a lot more in modern zombie films than the old school ones. The word zombie wasn't really a thing, even with George Romero. If you guys know the history of Night of the Living Dead, Romero originally referred to his zombies as ghouls, and they were based off of vampires. So the word zombie was mostly given to these creatures by the media itself. So it's kind of a pick and choose. Really, it's really personalized. What do you prefer in a zombie film? And everyone's different. I mean, I don't really think it's too much of a big of a deal when people use the Z word. Again, it's just not my personal cup of tea, and I don't really appreciate it when zombies are put up for laughs. As you can see, I am the biggest zombie fan in the world, and I have major respect for these creatures, and I want to see them be done justice in the media all across the board. And going back to the old school films, you'll realize that no one really called zombies by any name besides just those things. And it was never really explored throughout the old school films, mainly from like the 80s, even up to maybe the early 2000s. It's yeah, there's not really a specific name attached to these creatures. People just kind of call them whatever, usually based on what the zombie was doing. So like for The Walking Dead, they're called walkers. For Land of the Dead, I'm assuming because they stink real bad or whatever, they call them the stenches, or maybe because the zombies had rotting flesh, so a name was more appropriate. So you see like these different names attached to zombies as well, besides really the word zombie, usually describing its characteristics, its movements, and all that kind of stuff. And those are different than saying the actual word zombie, because like I said, the zombie is kind of like fourth wall breaking. And someone interesting actually pointed this out, that like if you really pay attention, that most people in zombie films have no idea what a zombie is. It's like zombies don't exist in that universe. And for some people, they can consider that to be a little bit crazy and unrealistic, but for me, I never really paid attention to that much of it. The more the humans are not in the know, to me, the better the zombie film is, because it creates that air of mystery, which makes zombies a lot more terrifying, because zombies literally defy the laws of physics. So it's like you don't know why these zombies or these creatures are rising from the grave. You don't know why they're acting the way that they do. They're literally your friends and family members. So it's like, well, what's going on here? Like, this is a phenomenon that's, physically, scientifically, and metaphysically impossible. And it's happening right in front of our faces. And the word zombie is, I guess it depends on your attitude, because in a movie like The Cockneys versus Zombies, they use the word zombie in it, and it's pretty cringe to me. And it just doesn't jive with me at all. It's because I feel like in that movie, zombies are more seen of as a joke, and the movie itself is a British comedy film, so I think I pretty much hit the nail on the head when it comes to. So let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Are you okay with the Z word? Like, how do you guys feel about that, really? Because me, it's just whack all across the board. One thing that really fascinates me about the zombie genre is that there's always something in it for everyone. Everyone can experience different flavors of the zombie genre, have their own personal favorite way of how zombies are portrayed. Whether you're more of an old school fan or you're more of a new school fan, there's always something in it for everyone. Comparing it to its brothers and sisters, the werewolf and the vampire, those are kind of different, because werewolves and vampires, they have their own personalities. So there's a little bit more of an exception for us to use words such as vampire, ghoul, werewolf, or wolfman, or anything of that nature. Zombies are kind of like background characters that have to be brought to attention, and it just doesn't really make sense to acknowledge them in that way. In my own personal opinion, I think it really degrades them, and it just doesn't do them the justice that they really deserve, especially when it comes to zombie films. Zombie TV shows, I don't know, I've never really been a fan of zombie TV shows, and I feel like you can probably get away with saying the Z word in other forms of media, but for some reason, to me, in movies, it just doesn't work out, and I really don't like it. It really just sounds goofy and ridiculous when you say it. And it also kind of plays into that fourth wall breaking, because now when people label the creatures as zombies, now all of a sudden they know how to fight the zombies, and it's like, oh, in this movie I saw that you have to do this and that, and it's just like, bro, this is just whack. I'm not saying there's not a place for zombie comedy in the zombie genre. Obviously there is. It really is just the way that you go about it. It's all about attitude, and as someone who considers herself a scholar in the genre and who's trying to specialize in zombie movies in particular, there's a lot of hard questions surrounding zombie movies, like what makes a good zombie movie? Why is it that some zombie movies can get away with saying the Z word and others can't? There's a lot of questions, a lot of things to ponder, and hopefully those questions can be answered or put in a better context sometime in the future. And that's going to be all for today. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. I'll see you guys next week with a brand new video. See you later.